Hi, good evening. Hi, good evening. I hope we all are doing very well this evening. Welcome to the AWS Security User Group session, study series. It's going to be an exciting session, and you can't afford to actually miss this, right? So, welcome once again to everyone that is joining us. My name is Israel Kuti, and I'm excited to be hosting this session alongside our speaker, who is going to be Chisom. Chisom is just going to be joining us shortly. We're just going to give it few more minutes for others to come in so that they can join us, right? Welcome. I can see Samuel Lawal. Welcome, guys. Yeah, good evening. Um, yeah, so it's going to be an amazing session today and a very interesting session, really. So, we're going to be looking at career opportunities, career growth, how you can actually scale up the ladder as far as cloud computing is concerned. So, if you are here and you are someone probably you have been looking for, oh, how can I start a career in cloud computing? What can I do as far as AWS is concerned? I want to make more money. I want to live that life, right? So this is an opportunity for you to actually listen in, to hear from a professional, right? Someone that has been in the game for quite a long time. She's going to be speaking to us regarding opportunities that are available, what you can do to be a part of those opportunities, and of course, the moment you get into the career, how can you grow your career? Um, what are the things that you need to look out for, right? How do you become that professional that from time to time, when there are opportunities for growth, it doesn't elude you, right? So that's what we're going to be looking at this evening. And I want to welcome you once again on behalf of AWS Security User Group. I can tell you that you are in the right place, and we have specially put out this event for people like you, right? So that it gives you an opportunity to be able to learn how you can develop yourself, how you can grow yourself as far as your career is concerned. So I think we have more people joining us right now. Um, so without wasting much time, I'm just going to try as much as possible to introduce our speaker. Um, our speaker today, uh, she's going to be taking us through career growth in cloud computing, a technical roadmap. As far as cloud computing is concerned, the career growth in cloud computing, what are the things that you need to do? What are the opportunities that are available for you? How do you harness this opportunity? So that's what Chisom is going to be taking us through this evening. Um, yeah, so Chisom is a site reliability engineer and she works with InterSwitch currently. She has over 5 years of experience. So this is to tell you that the person that is going to be speaking to you is not just one random person, right? It's someone that has been in the field for quite a while now. She understands what the career entails. She understands what the respective core areas, right? So cloud is large, cloud is big. There are a lot of career paths in the cloud computing, but how do you start? And then how do you grow? So this is a technical roadmap, and Chisom is going to be taking us through this session. Hi, Chisom. Good evening and welcome. It's nice to have you. Um, can you hear me? I can't hear you. If you can hear me. Okay, I would want to assume that you
Are
can hear
you
me. So,
hearing?
oh, beautiful. Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, good. All right. Welcome. All right. Thank you very
Thank
much for joining us. So, yeah, I mean, we are very much excited. Personally, for me, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, we have people that this is one of the core major challenges that they have. Oh, cloud is big, cloud is wide. What do I do? Where do I start from? How do I grow my career? Should I go for security? Should I go for DevOps? Should I go for migration, whatever it is, right? So this is an opportunity for you to actually help people that are in that space to learn more about, okay, this is how to go. More like you're just holding us by the hand and you're telling us, okay, Israel, just follow me these parts. This, and these are things that you should do. So thank you very much once again for taking out your time to be with us this evening. Right. So I'm going to hand over to our guest for today so that I don't waste much of our time. Thank you very much, Chisom, and welcome once again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I would appreciate if you can share my slide from your end. So I,
Okay. All right. Just a minute. Let me just share my screen.
yeah.
Let me know once you can see my screen.
Okay, next.
Okay. Thank you. For some reason, it's not coming up.
Okay, let me see if I can try my end.
So I think you can just go ahead and engage us, introduce yourself while we try and figure out how to bring up the screen. Apologies.
Yeah, okay, on it, give me a minute. Okay, why that is, it's showing uploading on my end. So why that is coming up, like Israel rightly said, my name is Chisom Jude. I'm a site reliability engineer with InterSwitch. I also do DevOps and I do a lot of trainings. And yeah, I've been in this game for quite a while. So background, I've had to come through cloud from the other way. So when I mean the other way, I mean the other cloud provider. And coming into AWS, it's like a wowing part. So today, I believe you can see my slide now. It says done. Can you confirm you can see my slide?
Yes, we can see your slide now.
Okay, so coming into AWS, that was like another roadmap for me. So today we're going to deal with cloud computing and career growth in cloud. So I already did an introduction of myself. So that's me, Chisom Jude. And beyond tech, like I would always say, I love communities and I contribute to communities a lot. So yeah, let's go into it. So for someone who is just starting up with cloud, you don't know where to start, or you've even started your journey and you're finding yourself here today. I believe at the end of this section that you'll be able to grab at least two things. Let me not say one. You'll be able to grab two things to go with. So on my own end, I would reintroduce you to what cloud is. So for me, cloud computing just refers to you delivering services, computing services on the cloud, on the internet. So the way you would go there out there to buy a computer, set it up to be a server, set it up to carry your application, to host your application. So the cloud providers are now sitting on that gap for us, providing those services such that you don't really need to go all that way to buy a system, to buy the storage, to buy, install a server and all of that, set up your application, host it. So they are like doing that for you, and you can just easily access your service on the cloud. So when we say cloud, someone once asked, is cloud like the cloud we are seeing? For me, I would say no, it's not the cloud you're seeing up there. It's just like a virtual, giving you those resources virtually. However, those resources are stored somewhere. They have their data centers where they actually have those physical devices. So to you, you are being abstracted from all of those hassles. You just know that you log in into your PC, you enter in your username and password, and you have your services and you can use it. So that's the simplest way I'll give cloud to you. And cloud is becoming very versatile today because it has it has its hand on every career. If you want to say, okay, I'm not doing tech thing, I'm into accounting, there's a part of cloud that would speak to you. If you want to say, okay, I don't want to even do anything, I'm that's technical, I'm into networking, deep core networking, we work on servers, on data center, there is still a part of cloud that would come to you. So cloud is everywhere. And I just had a list of few of the advantages because it has a lot of advantages. So on demand access to your resource. So gone are the days where you forget your system at home and you're missing out on a file. You can just simply log in and still get access to it even from your mobile phone. So that's the advantage, one of the advantage. So when we talk about scalability, we're talking about being able to add more add more to what you already have, being able to expand from where you already are. So let's say from what we have today, maybe your usual storage, email storage, you see the possibility of you being able to expand from what you already have. Maybe you're using a 30 gig storage and it's full, and you're now asked to expand to 100 gig or even terabytes. So this is more like you scaling out from what you already have. So the pay as you go model is more like I don't have to buy all these physical devices. I don't have the cash, but I don't even know if I'm going to use up to 1 gig. Okay, maybe I can pay as I go. So if I use up to 1 gig, I pay for 1 gig. So there's no waste with cloud. And for security, trust me, there's nothing like fire burns the office. We lost all our data. Yeah, there are also some security breaches in the cloud, but it has reduced the one we know before now. And sometimes people tend to forget when you've solved the problem, you forget where you started. So before now, before cloud became a thing everywhere, you hear things like something funny just came to my mind. You hear things like a particular election pool data has missing and all of that for people who are still doing manual, right? So with cloud, you can always have access to your resource. There is security, there is backup, there is easy backup, per se. So yeah, let's move on because we still have a lot more. Now, for someone who is like, okay, where do I even start? Right? Cloud is everywhere. Where can I start from? Where can I even start? I don't want to, for people who are not into cloud computing as a career, or you're into some other thing, or even if you're into cloud computing, you're into tech as your career line, where do you start? So for me, I will tell you, cloud is growing so fast, not just in Nigeria, but globally, that every little knowledge you have about cloud stands out. You can impute it in anything, you can impute it in your day to day activities. So start by learning the basics, which we're going to touch on today. So you learn the basics, you learn what cloud is, you learn how different type of cloud, different providers, learn the very basics of cloud. And when you learn the very basics, you set a roadmap for yourself. We're still going to talk about that in a in a better context, right? So learn the basic, follow a roadmap, and stay consistent. So these are the three major things I'll tell you for your starting. So if you're in any career line you are, very basic, learn the basics. When I mean the basics, I mean pick a cloud provider and learn what it is, every word, every service, not every service, but we're still going to show you those services you should prioritize. When you get your hands on the basic, then you can proceed with every other thing. Set a roadmap for yourself based on your career path, right? And then you can stay consistent. Yeah, moving on. So there are different career paths. I've seen someone in situation where when you ask them what do you do, they can't really hold a hand on one particular thing they do, right? That is where I'm heading to when I say set a roadmap. So there are different career paths today. First, for a beginner or for someone who already started your journey, there are some considerations you need to come back to. Those days in school, I studied computer science. So, in the midst of people who are studying computer science, you hear things like, I don't like coding. You hear things like, I don't like graphics. I can't pick colors. So, people, we are human beings and we have our different preferences, right? So, you see people who are very quiet. They can concentrate on something. They like to do repetitive tasks. So these are like you finding your own strengths, finding where you can. You see people that are like FBI from from the onset. They can connect two and two together. For me, I don't know how to connect two and two together. So so depending on where you find your interest, right, you can start making consideration on where you want to center your career on. I know in Nigeria, most of us picked our career from the first job we got, right? I got my first job as a web developer because right there in school, I started on learning programming. So getting my first job, it was a web dev job, and I was doing more of programming. Not like I don't like programming, but I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. So in the space I find myself then, I was doing the same thing. There was no opportunity for me to like expand what I'm doing. So they give you this web page, you have to design it. You can't go outside that. So it's more like you're doing the same thing. And then after when you're done with that, you do similar website for similar people. So it's more like a routine job, right? So from my own growth, I would say I don't like repetitive tasks. And that is one thing I love about SREs because there is this keyword with SRE that you should automate yourself out of the job, right? You do a lot of automation. Those things you do manually every day, automate it. Automate it in such a way that there is no more job to do. So that's what they mean by automate yourself out of the job. So first, make consideration, find where you fall in. So, like I said, even in the midst of people studying computer science, you hear things like, I don't like coding. Yeah, there's something you like. Are you interested in graphics? There's UI, UX. There is a lot more. So it's just you finding that balance. Are you interested in details? Then you can go into data. Are you interested in connecting dots and dots or looking for loopholes, then security can be a thing for you. So when you finally find that part you want to belong, then you can now, when you find that strength within you as a person, you can now move on to, okay, what career does this really fit in? So it doesn't matter what you're doing at the moment, per se. Trust me, if you're, let's say you're doing web design, like I started with web, and let's say I wanted to go into core programming, right? From web design, it's just an easy flow for me to like pick another programming language from what I was doing and move into that. However, I wanted something that involves me thinking, automating processes, and moving that way. So I had to pick in the line of DevOps, SRE. For some other person, it could be that, okay, yeah, you want to continue as a developer. There is something called cloud developers, people who understand cloud from the developer point of view. So that's why I said cloud fits in every career path. I've heard of something like tech lawyer today. So I've heard of tech nurse. So there is tech in almost everything. And cloud is now like the mother of all those careers. So I would say find your strength, now look for careers that fit into your strength. Okay, and when you finally find your strength, another thing I want you to do is to set a roadmap for yourself. If you look at this picture, you see that this man, when I picked up this picture, I think it's kind of explained what I wanted. I was wondering, did he climb from the ladder, then picked up the rope? Or did he pick the rope down there, ignoring the ladder? Is there someone holding that rope at the other end? So these are like a very good state of confusion. So this is what happens when you don't have a roadmap. You find yourself, you're in tech, tomorrow you're in accounting, tomorrow you're going back to study MBA for law or anything, and like disjointed kind of. So but when you have a roadmap, what it does is that it gives you a guide. So for this my guy here, even till now, I still don't understand. I'm still trying to figure out what is actually happening. What happens when he gets to the end? Is it that there is someone who is going to draw him over, or is he trying to use the rope to come down? So it's just that confusion I want you to get. So in 2 years from now, if you don't have a roadmap, you'll still be a learner in anything you're doing. So if you don't have a roadmap today, in 2 years time you may be, maybe you're learning DevOps today. In 2 years time you may say, okay, I'm doing security, cyber security. In the same 2 years time, I can't really hold you to anything. I can't say, okay, this person is a guru in this. So that's why you need a roadmap. And in 10 years time, nobody would ask you for your level. We should be seeing your work out there. We should be seeing your portfolio speak for you. So let's go to someone that looks more serious to me. Okay, so look at this one. At least you can see that there is a clear path to where he's going. He's going up there. So I'm not in doubt whether he's using the rope to come down or he started from down and he's trying to go up. So you could see that there is a clear roadmap. He's going up. Every step he puts is defined for him. So when you set a roadmap, it gives you a destination. It kind of structures your path. You then know, okay, this is my next step. Once I'm done with learning Terraform, okay, I'm going to Ansible. Okay, once I'm done with AWS, okay, I want to go into DevSecOps. So it kind of give you a structure, right? This my guy here is a very popular guy, John Doe. So he's an HR person, he's a database admin, he's a social media manager, he's a network specialist. Trust me, Nigeria can turn you into this. But that is when you don't have a roadmap. So when saying people say, tell me about yourself, you'll be like, okay, what's the JD? Because the JD will now determine you. No, it's supposed to be the other way around. You're supposed to tell the person about yourself, and the person will be able to know if you fit into the JD, and not the JD first, and you're now trying to find which of my skill will I put in. I've heard of people say don't submit the same CV to different jobs, but trust me, why are you even submitting to different jobs? You should have like a concentrated part. Yeah, I'm not saying you should modify your CV. You should modify your CV, but at some point I've been in a situation where I have CV for customer service, I have CV oh God, I have CV for web developer, I have CV. So I kind of, it was at that point I kind of picked a roadmap for myself because come on, how many CVs do I need? This is just this guy here. So let's see what next. So from the look of things, the first way to go once you find yourself, once you find that balance, like I've said, is to create a roadmap, build a plan, and let's dive into creating a roadmap. So let's say I started off as a sysadmin, and maybe somehow I'm seeing that DevOps is everywhere. Oh. Now I want to learn DevOps, but they said if I don't have a background in programming, I can't be successful in DevOps. If you look at this roadmap, in as much as it has a destination, it's kind of disjointed, but though a bit related. So what's the point here? Sometimes your roadmap doesn't need to be straight up ladder like that guy, but make sure the dots connect each other. So if I as a handle system registration, onboarding, everything about your system, configuring AD, identity, all of those guys. So if you look at them deeply, they can somehow connect back to a cloud engineer. For a cloud engineer, you're studying all the cloud services related to what you're doing in sysadmin. So if you were using AD on-prem, sorry, I'm going to sysadmin. For those that are not sysadmin, so when I mean AD, I mean Active Directory. It's kind of an identity system for Microsoft, right? So if you're using AD on-prem, there is a cloud provision for AD currently. So you moving from sysadmin to a cloud engineer is not a disjoint as compared to the HR to database admin. I can't even connect that dot, right? So if you're moving from sysadmin to cloud engineer, you can still find a connection from what you're currently doing to the next step. But mind you, this guy's focus is on DevSecOps, right? But maybe in Nigerian system, he was able to get a job in sysadmin, and he's actually moving towards DevOps. From sysadmin to DevOps is also a straight path. Don't get me twisted. However, based on what you're doing, your planning, your structuring, you can find yourself in cloud engineering. It's not out of place. So the essence of this is that in as much as your roadmap has a destination, it doesn't have to be a straight up ladder like the first guy we saw. So you can actually go sideways, but make sure the dots connect each other. Okay, I would like to demo a little roadmap structure. So there is this website I came across a very long time, and it has been really very helpful to me. So I would like us to also look at it. And for those that are already conversant with it, I know that they've been growing up on it recently. They've been showing. Let me share that screen. They've been improving the site, and they've been giving a lot more. Hold on 1 minute. Yeah, I want to believe you can see my screen. So it is roadmap.sh, right? That's the website. It kind of gives different roadmap for different career paths, especially in the tech space, though they are adding more and more every day. So for AWS, which is where I want us to look on, this is what they've planned as a roadmap, which is acceptable, right? It's not everything, but it's really acceptable when you compare it to other parts, other roadmaps you will see out there. So first, they would say if you want to learn AWS, you should start by learning what cloud computing is, learn what private and hybrid cloud is, public cloud, IS, more like the introduction to cloud, right? The theoretical part of cloud. Then you start learning AWS services. So first, they listed these three here as essential, which is IAM. IAM is the identity management service for AWS, identity and access management. Next, they want you to look into networking. Next, they want you to look into compute. And for AWS, their major compute system is EC2. It's a virtual server that grants you access to a computer, just like you have one in your hand. So just like I have one here now, it gives you a virtual computer. So the network part, all the network configuration you could do outside the cloud, it also gives you a virtual public cloud, a virtual public network where you can have your subnet, your IP address, configure it the way you want, make it private, make it public, all of those guys. So when you've learned these very three, another one I see as very essential among that is not listed as these three is storage. So once you're able to grab identity, you're able to grab VPC, which is networking, you're able to grab EC2, which is compute, and you're able to learn about storage, where you would eventually store all of those things. You are a 50% into the cloud already. Once you can use those services, you know what to do and how to use them. You are 50% already into the cloud. And like I said, these services are like they have sub layers. So when you hear VPC, it's just not one, it's one service. However, it have children, like I would like to put it. It has children, it has the subnet, it has so learning needs entirely, learning VPC, networking in AWS is already set. You're already setting a career path. There's something called network engineer, right? You're already setting a career path. So if you want to learn about compute, it's also fine. There are people known as infrastructure engineer who focus just on infrastructures, who focus just on infrastructures. And when you go into storage, it's also a thing, right? So when you're able to grab these three, after that you can now decide, okay, where next, where am I now moving into? So if you're moving into something like DevOps, then you can start looking at the CI/CD part of things. You can start looking at infrastructure automation, IAC, which you can use cloud formation for, and other parts, right? You can now know if you're going deeper. However, if your maybe your end goal is to become a network engineer, then you can dig in more into networking part on the cloud. Okay, so like I want to say, roadmap is not just about AWS. It also give you all other roadmaps. So you can actually come here, sit down, create an account, and look into where you want to start. So let me use, for instance, DevOps, and I go into DevOps. This is the beginner guide, and they tell you, okay, as a beginner, get one programming language you are familiar with, learn Linux, learn network, learn Docker. You can see as at this point, they are now telling you, okay, try AWS, learn AWS services that will be useful to you on the long run. And when you keep going down, you see that it's kind of gives you an end goal. So you're able to tell, okay, when I've gotten to this last part, is that all? No, my dear, you're still just starting up with DevOps because it's called this place the beginner guide. So as a beginner for DevOps, you're already into all of these. You already know all of this at an advanced level, then you can go deeper. So if I say, okay, show me the entire DevOps roadmap, you can see that it's quite broader, right? It now tells you, okay, let's now go deeper. So you learned Python the last time. Maybe you want to pick up Go. Maybe you want to learn Windows operating system. You've learned Linux from the beginner level. Maybe you want to pick up Windows. So Windows is not just about the home user window installation. Windows is a server. There's something we call Windows Server, which actually works for your application hosting and lots more, right? So you can learn Windows Server, the operating system, how to host an app on Windows Server, and all of that. You can then start going deeper into version control. You learn GitHub at the beginner level. Maybe you want to pick another version control tool. So it kind of gives you, and by the time you get to the end of this roadmap, trust me, trust me, nobody would ask you to define yourself and you're stuttering or you're asking for the JD first because you already know yourself, you already know your skill sets, you already know what you can do. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot here. So there are a whole lot of other roadmap. But one thing I like about this page is that it gives you in depth and they are still building on it. As at the first time I found this site, it was just DevOps. They're still building on it. You want to go into technical writing, you want to go into depth real, you may try cybersecurity, you may just try it, look into it, know where, okay, where can I even start? It gives you that flow, that end-to-end guide. You want to go into database, it gives you like an end-to-end guide and you're able to like understand where you are. Some people, when you ask them, are you a beginner, intermediate, expert, or how do they categorize the senior level and all of that? You don't really know because you don't have that structured roadmap. Okay, let me go back to my slide. Can you stop sharing? Give me a minute. Okay, I think my slide is up. I'm not familiar with this platform, sorry. All right, so Yeah, so this is what we just looked into. You want to start up with AWS, you have to pick a roadmap. You can get that guy roadmap.sh slash whatever you want to do. You can start from their homepage, roadmap.sh, then slash AWS will take you to the cloud learning series. So if you're going deep into the cloud, you really need to start with learning, gathering resources. So AWS have their platform that gives you um, both documentation, videos, and a very robust learning platform, which is the Skill Builder and also AWS Educate. Give me a minute, I need to lock my system. Okay, so like I was saying, AWS has that robust structure that you can learn from. We would drop that on the charts within this section. So when you set your roadmap the way you want it, then you can now go out there to look for resources to learn on. Say you want to learn about EC2, you can now focus your attention to EC2, learn everything EC2, then move on to other services. So you don't get things messed up. That's why I brought in this roadmap for you. Let's move on. So when you are learning, not when you have finished learning, while you're still learning, build yourself a portfolio. I'm a big fan of this because most people, what we do mostly is to learn and learn and learn, and we have nothing, no documentation, no write-up, no project. So first work on project. Let's say you learned about EC2, for instance. EC2 is just a compute. Someone would wonder, what kind of project will I do with EC2? You can actually do, if you find one, there are a lot of GitHub resources that gives you beginner level, advanced level, hands-on projects. Just EC2 alone, you would see a lot you can do. Someone can even tell you to, do you know how to create EC2 using not the AWS console, using CLI? So all of those are things you should really put in. 1 minute. Okay, sorry for that interruption. So I was saying, while you're learning, don't just learn, watch YouTube videos, watch online tutorials, and all of that. For each of these learning, try to write articles around it, try to work on projects. As you're working on projects and you're able to maybe have an issue to resolve, right? Write about it, write how you resolved it, put it out there. Sometimes I don't even put it out there for people, I put it out there for myself because I've been in a situation where I solved an issue, and after a while, I came across it again in the job, and I had to go back to my GitHub. Luckily for me, it was on a private repo because I needed some. Sometimes I do private repo to avoid some sensitive information. So things like that. What if I had not kept that work in a private report? It's not like I would not be able to solve it because I've done it before. Yes, I will, but I will spend more time. So why waste that time when you can actually document, write about it? I'm a big fan of writing about things. Then another guy I heard people talk a lot about is certification. Some people would say certification doesn't prove your knowledge, certification doesn't do this, certification doesn't do that. Trust me, certification is what it says it is. There is this will I call it, a bias. Most people said you see someone having um, 5 times AWS certified and they cannot spin up a VPC. I don't know where that happens. I don't know. I don't know where that happens, but trust me, in the process of preparing for your certification, you're learning. In the process of writing that certification and failing, trust me, a lot of us that display our successful certificates, we fail too, right? In the process of writing and failing, you've learned a lot. You're going to go back to your drawing board and like say, okay, what did I do wrong? How can I pass this on my next sitting? That steps like help you gain more knowledge on that content. And in the job aspect of things, even Nigerian companies, let me not say foreign company, even Nigerian companies these days, you would see something like you should have this number of certification, you should have, are you this certified, are you this certified, and all of it. There are also certifications that help you get a job. So don't think certification is just about flagging it on LinkedIn. No, those kind of things, you're building your portfolio. I think my time is fast spent. Let's see. Oh, okay, that's the end of my slide. So talking about certification, like I said, write those certification. If you have to pay for it, pay for it. If you're able to get vouchers, write them. They help to boost your profile. They help to give you more knowledge. And with that, I come to the end of my section, and I would like to take questions, if any.
Thank you very much, Chisom. That was like a very, very nice session. Straightforward, straight to the point, and very, very detailed. Thank you very much. Right. So, I mean, as you were saying, going through the slides, I was also picking one or two things, especially for someone like me that my own part of AWS is not really the key coding like other people, right? But the knowledge, just like what you were saying, the knowledge of the cloud would also help you in opening some doors. There are several other career paths that you can do as far as AWS is concerned, right?
Sure.
But the knowledge of what exists within, there are some organizations that their services, their applications, everything that they use is hosted within AWS cloud. And then you want to work with those organizations. So if you don't know how the cloud operates, if you don't know anything about it, it's, or let me say, knowing how the cloud operates or knowing one or two things about it is going to be like an added advantage for anyone who is looking for such opportunities. And you've also
Sure.
mentioned about where to start from, right? Understanding what skills that they have, what do you want to do, what where are your strength areas. So when you know your strength areas, you know where to put in. Or from Lagos, you want to move from here to maybe Island, and you don't know the direction of where you're going, you just start going left, right, center. But if you have a clear roadmap, and thank you also for sharing that platform with us, the roadmap .sh, yeah, so that anybody can go there and then see respective career paths and the roadmaps that are there for you, right? And then you've also talked about the projects, and that's one thing I think everybody should actually be very big on. Work on more projects, put yourself out there, and it helps you because by the time people start thinking, if you want to go out for opportunities and you're like, oh, I am in need of a career path or I'm in need of internship, the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, I've always been seeing this person. Yeah, and even I've had people that have actually reached out to myself that, oh, I've been seeing their stuff, I've been seeing their work, and then I know that they are doing something amazing as far as the cloud environment is concerned. So when I have opportunities for maybe career opportunities or internship, I am even the one that reaches out to them that, oh, I think you can actually fit into this place. So I think that's also another key thing that you've mentioned. Thank you very much. Now I want to go into questions. I mean, I've been seeing some questions, right? So if you have not dropped your question yet, please just go ahead and drop it. We have one question now. The person is saying that what would you advise a beginner in AWS and DevOps to become a freelancer on site like Upwork and Fiverr to be able to build their portfolio? So I'm thinking what this person is trying to say is that, oh, yeah, thank you. I'm a beginner, right? What would you advise me? I want to be able to showcase what I'm doing, right? I want to be able to work on places like Fiverr, Upwork, and the likes to meet clients. So, what would you advise?
Okay, so for those platforms, they are very big on projects, right? So most cases they'll ask you to upload your projects. Like, I know of Upwork would give you a space to upload your project. So if that is your goal that you want to like work as a freelancer, then you have to work on so many projects, and when you display it on those platforms, it brings clients to you without you having to also. But trust me, getting jobs on those platforms are not quite easy, but people do get. Yeah. So I would say have more projects, work on more projects.
Thank you very much. So that's it. Work on more projects, right? Opportunities are there for you on those platforms, but if they are going to employ you, they need to be able to see what you've done. Oh, what can you do? So that means that your GitHub account, your maybe on Medium, wherever it is that you're posting your stuffs, you must have stuff that you've actually worked on that people can go there to always see, that you can proudly share your link, right, or your portfolio. That, "Oh, this is what I've been able to do." Thank you very much, Chisom. So we have another question here. The person
And
is saying that I have a strong.
sorry,
Okay, go ahead, please. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
sorry, to answer that question, I know I've had to like search for someone on Upwork, and what got my interest was the person's certification. The person has over 20 different certification, and I was like, how can I compete with this person on Upwork? If this person has 20 certification, of course those white guys will give you job there. They would already see you as the master of the game. So certification also helps you as well on such platforms.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That's another thing. Certification is very, very important. Right. So to our next question, this person is saying Adiola Aji Bosho. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. Forgive me if I didn't. It wasn't intentional. I have a strong passion for both cybersecurity and data engineering. How can I connect these two fields while continuing to build skills in cloud technologies? The person has passion for cybersecurity and data engineering, and then he's trying to see where the connection lies in between those two skills.
Okay, I would say cloud is the connection between the two actually. But however, I know data engineering is broad on its own, and cybersecurity is another broad part. So cloud is the only guy between them. So I wouldn't advise you to go for both. So it's either you choose between cloud and cybersecurity, that kind of connects, or you choose between cloud and data engineering, that kind of connects. But how you're going to merge them right now, I'm not seeing it yet, but there could be a way actually. They look quite distinct to me, like two different parts.
Yeah, yeah. So I think for me, what our advice is starts with cloud, just like what Chisom said earlier when she started. Cloud is like the mother of everything. By the time you start with cloud computing, you find some areas that are probably going to be quite fascinating for you. And then you start learning more about how you can work around your data as far as the cloud environment is concerned. You find what you can do with AI, what you can do with your data and AI as far as the cloud environment is concerned, right? You are building solutions that are maybe offering that are allowing businesses to be able to um, create insight from their data. So you are able to like create different dashboard with your data, and then you're also integrating AI to make interactions with those data that you have. You want to know, maybe for example, now if a financial institution, oh, how much of our customers are coming from this particular area, you're able to like play around the data, get demography, get different information as far as your data is concerned. So, but if you don't have the knowledge of the cloud and you only have knowledge of data, you might, from my own perspective now, and this is just my opinion, you might understand how data works or how data engineering works locally, maybe you using a server and the likes. But if you don't have the knowledge of how the cloud environment works, it's going to be like at a disadvantage for you, because you now see organizations that, oh, we need a data engineer, but at the same time we are using cloud environment, so everything that you're going to be doing as far as data is concerned is in the cloud. So if you don't have that knowledge, that means that you say, "Oh, okay, yes, I'm good with data, But then when it comes to the cloud aspect of things, I don't know how to find my way around AWS. So they will say, "Oh, we are sorry, we need somebody that understands how AWS works." So I think you can start from cloud security and then build with your data engineering. Thank you very much, Chisom. I think I have another question here. Um, this person is saying that for someone without a degree or someone coming from a non-tech background, what are the odds of landing a cloud role if I follow this step judiciously? Does certification eliminate the need for an IT? So I think this is an interesting question because I'm actually very interested in this question too.
For an IT
But
degree.
I'll allow Chisom to go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, I wanted to get. I said, does certification eliminate the need for an IT? Is it IT degree
Yeah.
you meant to write?
No, no, no. I
Okay.
mean, I thinking is okay, that's true. Felix, can you actually be more specific? Do you mean internship or information technology? Because I think I get what you're trying to say now. There are two answers to that area. Okay, IT degree. That's what he's saying. IT degree.
Okay, so for me, I've seen a lot of people. Like I mentioned, my roommate those days in the university. She's studying law. Today, she's a lawyer. So I've seen a lot of people jump into cloud. Like at some point, I'm even jealous. Like you guys are throwing us out. We that study computer science. So there are a lot of people who didn't even go close to science that are even today they are engineers, cloud engineers. So your background from degree level, it's not even a problem these days. It's not. For how much you've done in that cloud. If you say you studied English, how much are you into tech? How much have you gained? What are your projects? What can you show us? What can you do? That's what people want to see now, not even your degree. So the degree, in as much as you have a
All right.
degree, you're even at a higher level compared to someone who doesn't. So they don't care what degree it is actually.
All right. Thank you very much. So I think we're going to take our last question. This person is saying, I currently have AWS Cloud Practitioner Certificate and Solutions Architect Associate Certificate. I am writing cloud security specialty in April 14. My career goal is to become an SRE. I think this is Chisom. Then I also have skills in automation with Python. This, how can I get myself out of there to get roles um, where I can utilize my skills? Most Nigerian companies tend to use Azure and Google Cloud, and lack of experience makes it hard to get international roles. Chisom,
So the
it's over
question
to
is
you in
it
just
how
one
to
minute.
land a job?
Yeah, the question is how to land a job. She has those certifications already, but she feels that landing a job with AWS Cloud is a little bit difficult around here. And then he's
Wow.
saying, okay, what can she do better?
Okay, first off, this is my first time hearing this. I I would say most Nigerian companies use AWS and Azure. I've hardly seen anyone say they don't have opportunity with AWS. However, when it comes to, it's one thing learning, getting that certification is another thing getting the job, right? So when it comes to getting the job, you have to be out there. You have to put yourself out there a lot more than even, let me say, if you're doing your 50-50 now or even 60-40, do more of putting yourself out there. I've seen people who just get job by HR reaching out to them. I've seen people who get jobs by going to tech events. Maybe someone you connected with, be like, okay, you're into this. Can you share your CV? Things like that. Actually, that is what gives you the job, not really the experience. You have to be out there to get that job, to be seen. Actually, so that's what I can say. Most times we have the skills, but we're not exposing ourselves enough. We're not coming out there for people to like see that. I'll not want to take much of our time, but you can connect with me. Actually,
Yeah.
we'll talk better.
All right, awesome. I was going to actually say that. So please, you can connect with Chisom on LinkedIn, send her a message. Another thing that can also help you, Adiola, is community. Community is actually a whole lot. Joining the AWS security community, there are several like job opportunities that people reach out directly to the community leader. So I want someone that can do this. Can you recommend? And recommendation is like, or referrals is like one of the best way to actually get those jobs, because then the HR knows that, oh, you're coming from somewhere, right? So I think those are some of the things I may also want to actually do. Thank you very much, Chisom. We have just a little more time remaining, and then we have our games. So we've not gone into our games yet, right? So if you have been on the session since morning, this is the time for you to actually show that you have actually been active, that you have been listening, they have been jotting things down, right? So we are going into our um, game session now. It's a Kahoot game, so it's going to come up on the screen,
And
right?
there's
And
a
then all you just
reward.
need to do is to scan. Yeah, of course. Thank you. I was going to go there. So all you need to do is just to scan the barcode or copy the link, right? So that you can be able to participate. So I think in the next few seconds, start getting your Kahoot ready. If you don't have Kahoot, download it right now. Copy that link and join. There's a reward for the winner, right? So yeah, are you ready to go? Get your phones out now. You can scan that barcode, and then that's the game pin. For those that already have Kahoots, you can actually join using that pin. Counting down 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. So we have 5 different questions, and then the winner of this of all the sessions will get a gift. Are you ready? Okay. I see people joining. Welcome, Felix. More people. Yeah, yeah, keep it coming. I'm only saying Felix. What's going on? It's like if you want Felix to go with the okay, good, good. I'm seeing more people. Oh, awesome, awesome. Yeah, keep it coming. Keep it coming. We just have a few more seconds to wait. All right. I can see AI. Okay. Awesome, awesome. Yeah. I'm going to count down again now for the last time. 10 seconds down. So if you have not joined by then, sorry, you might miss the game. Yeah, you might miss the game. Yeah. And if you miss the game, you miss the reward. So 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. It looks like people were actually waiting for this countdown. I'm seeing more people joining now. 3, 2, 1. Oh, someone is saying we should wait. Okay. Okay. I'm seeing comments. They're asking us to wait. Okay. Don't worry. We're going to wait. Yeah, keep it coming, guys. Okay. I can see Okunla. Wisdom has asked us to wait. So let's hope Wisdom is able to join in a few seconds. And please, once you win, if you are the winner, and that's like that the final game, if you are the winner, please you have to take a screenshot of your profile and send it to our email address. The email address is displayed on the screen. You can see it moving down below the screen. You have to take a screenshot of your profile, your name, and then you send it to our email address so that you can be able to access the gifts that we have for you. Chooks is saying he's trying to download the Kahoot app. Okay. All right. Wisdom is ready. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, good. I see more people. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I see more people. Okay. Last countdown, I promise. Last countdown. Last countdown. You can scan the barcode on the screen or use that pin to join the game. And this is the last countdown. 10. I'm going from 10 to 1 now for the final countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Interesting. Yeah. What is cloud computing? A type of computer hardware, on-demand delivery. Okay. All right. Who is the winner of this? Oh, okay. I think we'll move on to the next question. Which service is used to monitor AWS resources and application? VPC, CloudWatch, S3, Monitor. Okay, let's go to the next question. Yeah, next question. Teddy Bear is leading. Okay. Which AWS certification is best for complete beginner? You are starting from scratch. I'm sure that Chisom mentioned this thing like 3 times. Solutions architect, security, cloud practitioner, cloud beginner. Okay. Next question. Teddy Bear is still leading. All right, let's move on. What does IAM stand for? Identity and access management, inner access management, identity and manage, intelligence artificial management. Okay, next one and the last question. Teddy Bear is still leading. I really need to know who this teddy bear is. Which AWS service is used to launch virtual servers in the cloud? S3, Inspector, CloudTrail, EC2. Services used to launch virtual servers in the cloud. Okay, study series 1 podium is completed. So let's see who our winner is. The top position is A. Second position is Okola. And the first position, Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear, please take a screenshot of your profile and send it to our email address. The email is on the screen right now. AWS Cloud Security West Africa at gmail.com. Please go ahead and send it to our email address right now. Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. This is the first of the many study series that we're going to be having. Amazing stuff actually lined up. We have another one coming up tomorrow by 6 p.m. If you go to our meetup page via the link trail link that is actually moving on the screen, you'll be able to know more about AWS Security Group. You can also search for us on LinkedIn, AWS Security User Group, so that you get first-hand information of many more of these series that are going to be coming up. And just like I said, I would advise that you join the community. There are a lot of opportunities for you, those that are looking for career opportunities, mentorship, job opportunities. You want to know how you can actually be able to do one or two things as far as the cloud environment is concerned. Where should you start from? You want a continuation of this session, right? That is where you are going to get all of these resources. That is where you're going to get this engagement, meet with people like Chisom, different amazing professionals that are actually part of the community. You get to meet them at when you join the community, and of course, being able to attend several other events that we're going to be having. So stay tuned for many more of this. This is a study series. 4 5 more of this kind of session are still going to coming up. So if you are unable to ask your question now, or maybe after this session you want to go ahead and start working on a few things, then come back to ask questions. Be sure that we are going to be more than excited to assist you and to answer all of your questions. Thank you very much again for joining. It's been an amazing session with all of you. Once again, I want to say thank you to our guest speaker, Chisom. Thank you so much, Chisom, for coming on the session this evening. On behalf of the AWS Security User Group Nigeria, I want to appreciate everyone for joining. Thank you very much for being a part of this session today. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow and, of course, next weekend. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you all. See you tomorrow. Yeah, the link for tomorrow's session is actually on the chat now, so you can actually copy the link for tomorrow's session. Yeah, awesome. So this is the link for tomorrow's session. So that you don't say, oh, I didn't get the link, oh, I forgot, oh, I didn't know how I'm going to be how I should get the link, right? So please try as much as possible to use that link. And of course, there's also going to be another game session tomorrow. So if you missed this competition, please get prepared for tomorrow's competition. There are lots of amazing prizes to be won. One of them is AWS credits. So when you have access to AWS credit, especially for people that are looking for how to use the cloud environment to carry out several practices, you want to lay your hands on one or two things, you want to spin up some EC2 instances, you want to use S3 to do a lot of things, this AWS credit is going to actually help you to be able to do all of these things as far as the cloud environment is concerned. So stay tuned, join us tomorrow, and would love to have you at tomorrow's session and, of course, at all of our subsequent sessions. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Have a wonderful weekend and see you tomorrow.